Hello and welcome to the New York Architecture course. Thank you for being with us in these past weeks and for following the lectures on this remarkable city and this beautiful architecture that we can find here all over around us. This course featured a number of site visits where we had a kind of a on-site education or field education as we call it. And then we also had the online lectures. So it's been a great pleasure for me to meet many of you and to show them around the city. And during the weekends, I met so many special people. And I hope to see many of you who will be visiting the city. And if you want to schedule another tour, another site visit, you're welcome to contact me and I will be happy to plan something with you. For those of you who were not able to join us here in person but have followed the online courses or have done independent research on the New York architecture, I invite you to complete this course by submitting a final paper or the final assignment for the course. This final assignment will have two different options for the final paper. The final paper will be anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 words, which means anywhere between 2 to 3 pages, single-spaced pages. And we will have, as I said, two different options. One of them would be the option to develop a critical analysis of a project from the city, and the other option would be to develop a comparative analysis of two projects from the city. In the critical analysis, I invite you to choose one single building of New York. It doesn't matter which building. You can choose any building in New York and then study it in its context, study it in its time, in the relationship to other projects that are designed by the same architect. Then what are the social implications of this project? What are the financial implications of this project? How did it come to life? And did it exceed the expectations that it had after it was completed, or it wasn't so successful? There are a number of landmark buildings in New York of which you can find plenty of information online. So I invite you to choose some of those buildings and to write about them. It's a free form paper, so it's up to you to decide which building to choose and also how to write about it. I invite you to choose specific criteria under which you are going to analyze the building. And specifically to talk about architecture. So here we're not interested in kind of so much in the historical background of the project. That could be just part of your research. But we're more interested in the architectural analysis of this project. So what are the spaces of this project? What is the structure made out of? What are the materials used in the building? What was it inspired by? What did it inspire on its own? And so on. So this is the first option for the final paper. The second option is to choose two projects from New York. Okay, and here is the secret. You need to choose two projects that are from the similar typology and from similar scale. For example, you can choose to compare the Empire State Building right behind me with the Chrysler Building, also on 42nd Street and Lexington near Grand Central. Or you can compare let's say Grand Central and then the new transportation hub of Santiago Calatrava downtown. Or you can compare some housing project. For example, this building behind me, which is the Fifth Avenue, a landmark building of its time, and then maybe some of the new projects in the city as the West 57th Street project by Bjarke Ingels Groups. Or you can choose office building. For example, you can pick up the project by the Hearst Tower by Norman Foster and compare it either to the projects by KPF or Hudson Yards here or to some of the new towers in downtown Manhattan near the World Trade Center. So that's up to you. But as I said, the criteria for selection is similar typology and similar scale. After that, you can apply the same criteria that I just mentioned for the critical analysis. You can apply them to the comparative analysis. Maybe starting with the site and understanding what where the project is and what is characteristic for its neighborhood, then going on into the actual design of the spaces, the architecture, then structure, materials, the poetry of architecture, what was it inspired by, and what are kind of the background and the ideas of the architect that designed it. So these are the two options, either the critical analysis or the comparative analysis. If you need some feedback on your project and on the topic that you're selecting, you can write to me and I'll be happy to respond to you by email. I also invite you to think about a concept when you write a critical paper. So some ideas that are not just a description of the project, but what are the conclusions of your research? What is the thesis of your research? So I gave you a lot of guidelines, I gave you a lot of ideas, and I look forward to reading your final papers and to be in touch with you. Once you complete the paper, you can send it to me, I will review it, and I'll send you your final grade. And if you complete the course, you'll be able to earn your certificate, and I highly encourage you to get the certificate and become part of our alumni community and to have a document that justifies and that proves the success in this course. So good luck and thank you for being with us. I hope to see you soon.